Hello guys, my name is Sayar33 and in this tutorial we are going to learn how to install and download MySQL, how to create tables and databases using Python, how to create, read, update and delete the data, how to import and export SQL database. So without waste of any time, let us get started. Search for MySQL and open the mysql.com. Go to the download section, scroll down and click on MySQL Community GPL download. And on the bottom left, click on MySQL installer for Windows. Select the latest version and select your operating system. And make sure to download MySQL installer community, not the web community. We need this version. Click on download, scroll down and click on no thanks. And wait for download process to complete. Disconnect from the internet and open the download file. In this way, you are going to install your MySQL on offline mode. Select full option. Here you can change the directory. Press on execute and wait for a few minutes. In this page, you have to check this box. And if you are installing MySQL on your personal computer, select development computer. In this page, you can define some users and you can define the password for your root user, which is the main user in MySQL. Okay, add user, select a role for your user, write a username, write a password and press OK. Leave everything else as default and at the end, press on execute and wait. By using your username and password, you can check if your connection to your database is correct or not. Okay, everything is perfect. Click on next, execute, finish, next, and your installation process is finished. Okay, I don't need this file anymore. Go into your programs and search for MySQL Workbench. This is the most important part of MySQL. Inside MySQL connection, click on this option, enter your password, and you can see your databases and your tables in this page. Click on schemas. You have 3 databases here. For example, Tkinter tables, actor table. And you can see the data table. Now, let us get started with Python. First of all, open your command line and type pip install MySQL connector Python. This line. Next thing to do, as always, is creating your project folder. You can download my folder on my GitHub. I'll put the link in the description. So don't forget to check this out. Open this folder on your IDE. As you can see, I made a GUI, a Tkinter GUI for this project. Don't worry, you don't need to know anything about Tkinter. All you need to know is this database section, except root main loop, which is a part of Tkinter. When I run my code, I get this UI. I have a user string variable, I have a password string variable, and I have an email string variable. And I have 4 functions: a create function, a read function, update function, and delete function, which will be called when I press the button. Import MySQL.connector. Choose a name for your database variable. I just name it MyDB. And connect to your database by typing MySQL.connector.connect, parentheses, your host, your user, and your password. Host in our case is localhost. User is my user and password is my pass. For you, username and password is what you set on your MySQL installation process. In databases, cursor is responsible for applying changes in your database. So define a variable and name it myCursor and your database name dot cursor parentheses. Let's say I want to create a new database. I call myCursor.execute, create new database if not exist with your desired name. I just name it login.db. If I run my code, I'll get an error. And that's because my Python file name is MySQL. So change your Python name to something else. Don't forget to delete cache file and repair this section. Now everything works fine. Duplicate your code, and this time we want to create a table inside of our database. So in connect parentheses, add your database name. Create table if not exists with your desired name. I just name it all user. Space parentheses and your column names, which was user, and variable type is varchar 255. Same variable type for password and same for the email. By running your code, you will create a database, a table on it, and some columns on your table. Let us check out what we've done on MySQL Workbench. This is my login database, my all user table, and 3 colon on it. Next step is adding some data on this table by using create function. Create new string variable SQL and type it like this. Insert into all user pass mail values %s, %s. And values variable, which is a tuple of user entry, password entry, and mail entry on Tkinter. Then call mySQL execute SQL val, and finally commit into my database. Then you can print something to make sure the operation is done. So user Jack, password 1212, email is jack@yahoo.com. When I press create, I will call the create function, which will be add into my all user database. So everything is fine. Let's add 2 more users. Now you can see your data table on your MySQL Workbench. But how can I access this data table on my Python code? The answer is read function. Type myCursor.execute, select star from all user. We don't need mydb.commit because all we want to do is reading the data, not applying any changes. Instead, we use myCursor.fetchAll parentheses, which is the result variable, then print this result. And I have a list of tuples of my data. You can adjust the code however you want. For example, this is more beautiful. Now we want to change the email specifically for Jack by using update function. I need to get a username entry, which is the user I want to change. I need to get a new email entry, which is the new email. Now that we have 2 string variable, we can write myCursor.execute fstring update all user. Set mail to m where user is equal to u. mydb.commit parentheses because we are changing the data. And finally, print something to make sure everything is done. For user Jack, I want to change the email to jack@gmail.com, not Yahoo. And press update. And the Jack email is changed. Before jumping into delete function, let us save some backups from my data. Go to MySQL Workbench, go to Administration section, click on Data Export. Choose your database and choose a folder to export to. Click on Start Export, and I have my backup. Okay, let's get back to delete function. If you want to delete a specific table on your database, you can type mycursor.execute drop table and your table name. When I press delete, then I have my database, but I don't have all user table. If you want to delete the whole database, you can type mycursor.execute drop database and your database name. If I press delete, my database is gone forever. If I press it again, you will see I have an error because I have no database with such a name to delete. Now we have to use database backup on MySQL Workbench. My database is gone. Go to Administration section, click on Data Import, check Import from Self-Contained File, choose your file, choose your database name. I just name it the same thing, LoginDB. And on the bottom right, click on this button. And my data is back. Now I'm going to show you how to delete a specific user on your data table. Let's say I have a wrong data in my table. And I want to delete only this user. Just like before, I need a user entry to specify what user I'm going to delete. mycursor.execute f-string delete from table all user, where user is equal to u, a string variable. Then type mydb.commit, and finally print something to make sure your change is done. I think this error is because we should not write table in mycursor.execute. Delete it. Yes, the problem is solved. When I read my data, I have no longer that wrong record. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you learned anything new, don't forget to like the video and subscribe and hit the bell. As I said, if you want to practice, you can download this code from my GitHub, link in the description. And if you have any idea or any questions, you can ask me in the comments. See you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.